Wall-to-wall coverage, even though BuzzFeed, the original publisher of the detailed memo, has admitted it's not verified. BuzzFeed editor-in-chief Ben Smith admitting, quote, there is serious reason to doubt the allegations in their story, and it seems to lie behind a set of vague allegations, rationalizing that they decided to choose transparency and, Americans to make up their own minds about its validity. Joining me now is Media Research Center Director Tim Graham. Tim, there's another thing that's happening. NBC is now contradicting CNN. It's breaking news. It just broke a few moments ago. CNN was saying that basically Donald Trump was briefed on this two-page summary. NBC is saying that essentially, wait a second, that's not how it happened. We're going to have more on that in a second as the details come in. But Tim, what do you make of this fake news story as it comes to Donald Trump and versus Hillary Clinton?
Well, I think we have a so-called news outlet in BuzzFeed which is showing a complete recklessness in what it presents. Really a National Enquirer level of shamelessness. And you have CNN, who's now prancing around making statements about the First Amendment, saying, we didn't do what BuzzFeed did. We only told everybody there was a salacious report they're really going to want to go find on the Internet. Like, that's superior journalism.
All right, so let me get back to the CNN now NBC fight. CNN reported that multiple U.S. officials said both Donald Trump and President Barack Obama were briefed on this two-page summary of findings gathered by this, former British intelligence operative about this compromising information that Russia supposedly had. Now, a senior U.S. intelligence official is telling NBC that Donald Trump was not briefed on the two-page summary. It contradicts CNN's report in that this addendum that was prepared for the briefing was only about vetted disinformation and raw information and raw unanalyzed intelligence. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I believe what CNN reported yesterday about this time was that Trump had been presented with a classified document. NBC is also saying you didn't bring a classified document into Trump Tower. And then there's the whole notion of, yes, it was presented to Trump as, well, here's the kind of garbage that's out there about you. Well, that's not the tone of the coverage we've been getting. And as your snippet showed, we had 44 minutes on the three ABC, CBS, and NBC morning shows on this today. 44 minutes of coverage of something that's unconfirmed, coming from an anonymous source who used this British official who's been shopping it, trying to hurt Trump for months. I mean, to me, it is a black mark on both.
Sorry to say this. I think Dan Rather is an excellent journalist, but he did get in trouble wrongfully reporting about George W. Bush. Is this CNN's Dan Rather moment?
I think that Dan Rather, no, because I think what Dan Rather did was these guys had a standard. He and his producer, Mary Mapes, had a standard of, you have to disprove what we're reporting. You have to disprove these phony documents that we have that have been faxed to us from a Kinko's. That's not the standard they're using. But yes, BuzzFeed does have a standard here where they're basically saying is, well, the reader can figure it out. We just want to throw it out against the wall and see what sticks. And that's not real news. And CNN people like Brian Stelter ought to be decrying it.
All right, Tim Graham, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.